Hello everyone, my name is Upadhyay and my topic is multi-factor authentication. So we will start with what is an authentication process. Authentication process is a process to identify your user, which is done in order to prevent unaccessed data to the threat actors. What is multi-factor authentication all about? So multi-factor authentication is a process like in today's case, we all know that passwords can be cracked easily and people are unaware about their weak passwords. So threat actors play a major role by doing social engineering techniques, and they try to crack their passwords using various techniques like brute force. But if multi-factor authentication is on, then there will be a second process which is done on the user side, which the threat actors cannot play a major role into. So there are several types of multi-factor authentication processes, which includes so first we'll start with why do we need a multi-factor authentication. We need multi-factor authentication because our data is private and we do not want our data to be leaked everywhere. Secondly, all the data is not social. Some data is confidential and private and financial, which we do not want to go in the internet. So in such type of data, we need multi-factor authentication. There are several types of let's start with benefits of multi-factor authentication. One of the major benefits of multi-factor authentication is risk of getting your data leaked it gets evaded. Secondly, the potential chances that your data can be compromised will be reduced to zero, and your data will be safe and secure. But obviously, examples of multi-factor authentication. One of the most common example is OTP. So whenever you are trying to purchase anything, you enter your credit card details, but there is a small part that is you need to verify yourself by giving an OTP, which comes to your Gmail ID or your mobile number. So herein, let's assume that the threat actors has all your credit card information. In such cases, he can easily get into your financial space, and he can easily utilize your money to do money laundering or any other such illegal activities. But if your multi-factor authentication is on, then you will have to verify yourself by giving OTP or any other authentication process. So in such cases, he would not be able to access your financial space. There are various types of multi-factor authentication, which is knowledge-based authentication. In such authentication process, we are usually asked about some private questions which only we are able to answer, and it is not publicly available. This information is not socially available, hence the threat actors would not get any chance to grab into such information and can utilize it for their own benefits. Then comes possession-based authentication. Possession-based authentication is the process where we are given a kind of entrance card, or let's take an example of our own institution. When we come into the classes, we provide our biometric authentication by giving our thumb impressions. So that's a kind of possession authentication. Then comes location-based authentication. This authentication usually is utilized in a zero-trust environment where there is very sensitive kind of data present. So all they need to do is they need to go to a specific location to access that data. Hence, no one apart from the people who are working over there can access their data. And in the conclusion, we all know that in this growing cyber world, threats are growing and threat actors are becoming smarter day by day. So we need multi-factor authentication to keep ourselves safe and keep our data private.